Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with David Haye in Las Vegas. Fight week, Mayweather versus Maidana 2, just 1 day away. David, I know a majority of the questions are about this fight. How do you see it going, and who do you think will win tomorrow night?
I see this fight being pretty sort of brutally one-sided. I think I was there ringside for their last fight, and I thought Maidana put on a gallant effort in the early part of the fight, but once Mayweather got into his groove and got into his rhythm, it was pretty one-sided. I only had Maidana winning, I think it was like 3 or 4 of the rounds tops. This time around, I don't see him winning 1 or 2. This time I know Mayweather's taking this fight very, very seriously. First time round, he maybe just assumed he'd find a way easy, but this guy had some nice angles on his right hand. Instead of throwing it at his chin, he was throwing it at the top of Mayweather's head and throwing the shots down. It's quite an unorthodox way to throw a punch, and I don't think Mayweather experienced that in sparring in the lead-up, so it was kind of shocked him early doors. But he knows what he's bringing now. You know, Maidana's not going to bring anything more than he brought the first time around, but Mayweather's going to adjust, and this is going to be a boxing masterclass.
How would you fight Mayweather if you had to coach somebody to fight someone like him? Would you fight him the style how Maidana did, or would you have a completely different approach?
I'd try a shotgun. I think that's the only way to beat him in the ring, is literally just to shoot him in both legs, and then knock him out. I think that's the only way.
He might still shoulder roll.
Way, he'd probably slip it. He's quick enough. I don't know, to be honest. You know, he's got a sort of a perfect style.
Yeah.
He hasn't shown. The only time he's shown any kind of vulnerability maybe is in the last fight. He got hit with a big shot against Zab Judah, against Shane Mosley. These are just one punches here and there. But what people don't realise about Floyd is he's got a great chin. On top of all that skill, on top of all that movement, reflexes, he can take your best shot. You know, the shot that Mosley hit him with would have knocked out 90% of the people in the division. But he took it. He didn't even touch down. He kind of bent down and came back up and recovered, held him, recovered. And I think that's what ultimately separates, you know, the very, very good from the great, is having the full package, having very high marks in, or if you had a list of all the different attributes one needs to be a successful fighter: punch resistance, speed, defense, offense. You know, you need mobility, reflexes, timing. How many of those with Mayweather would you give less than a 9? I can't think of any. No, he does everything very well. There's not one particular punch he can't throw. He can throw combinations. He can stand in front of you and not. Yeah, he can do everything. So he's definitely a living great, and there's not many of them around.
Very true. You bring up an excellent point. David, how you been? I know fans haven't seen you in a while. Let us know what's been going on.
Yeah, I had a big operation back last year on my shoulder, to a big reconstruction of my right shoulder. I sort of done some damage to it, but you know, it's healing up, and I'm looking at fighting hopefully for the end of the year. So I'm just working on that. Training, conditioning, just getting in good shape. So hopefully I'll have some type of announcement in the coming weeks. But yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm happy and looking forward to getting back out there and doing what I do best, and that's knocking people out.
I feel that energy. It seems that you're happy and you're in a good spot. Yeah. Having that injury though, does it drive you crazy that you can't really be active?
It has done, but you know, it's given me a little bit of time to reflect. You know, I haven't. Technically, by the time I get in the ring, it'll probably be around 2.5 years since I've been in there. My last fight was against a British guy called Derek Chisora. You know, I knocked him out in 5 rounds. You know, he's a tough guy, a tough competitor. But you know, it was quite frustrating coming off that victory and then having to pull out of a couple of fights. It was quite frustrating for me, but you know, it's life. You know, I've had my fair share of good luck. You know, I had my little share of bad luck, but that's life, and I'll come back. I'll come back stronger from it.
What do you make of the heavyweight division now, given the key players in it?
I think it's good. I think the heavyweight division is as exciting as it has been for many, many years. You know, you've got Romain Stavern taking on one of the biggest hitters in the division. You know, De Wilder. You know, he's got a perfect record. So I think that's a very interesting fight. You've got Ruslan Shagayev out in Russia doing this thing. So these guys have got titles. Obviously, Vladimir Klitschko's got the majority of the titles in Germany, but you know, Klitschko's fighting the usual guys that he likes to fight. But I think it's quite exciting, quite good for the heavyweight division that there are people whose name isn't Klitschko fighting for titles and being exciting fights. You know, I was in Los Angeles for Ariola and Stavern. That was a good fight. You know, they didn't look like the best athletes on the planet, but the fight was an exciting fight. There were 2 guys punching each other. None of them are holding. None of them are leaning on the other. One wasn't way bigger than the other one. It was just a good heavyweight match. You know, it's a WBC strap at the end of it. So I thought that was actually good for the heavyweight division. So I think that it's as good as it's been for a while.
On a final note, out of all those athletes you listed, who do you feel will take the reins once Klitschko is done?
Well, obviously, other than myself, I definitely think the winner of Wilder and Stavern will be very important. I think if Wilder knocks him out, that's like 22 or 23 knockouts on the spin, something straight knockouts, and knocking out for a world title. You can't question that. And if Stavern finds a way to win the fight, he's beaten a big puncher. So I think whoever wins that fight out of those two will have a big part to play in the future of the heavyweight division in the next couple of years.
So a few weeks, big announcement, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, we can't wait for you to get back in the ring. Hope the shoulder's going well and the hair's growing long.
Yeah, it's growing, it's getting there.
Here with David Haye, Marcos Villegas, signing off.